Hi, everybody. This is just a quick video. Um, just a couple of quick questions. And I wanted to remind you that I will be on again today in about an hour. I'll be doing a live. I'm not going to set it up in advance because that doesn't work apparently. Um, but I will be doing a live. I'll answer whoever's questions are there. Starting in the new year, I'm going to do this probably every other week for channel members only. So if you want to be a channel member for, a month and then leave, you can get in on those readings. Um, Today, since it's Christmas almost, I'm just gonna read whoever comes on, but moving forward, starting in January, I'm gonna do this twice a month for members. So look for that live when it pops up in about an hour. Well, yeah, in about an hour from now. Um, Thank you to all of you who came to the 1 o'clock session. And if you already got a question answered, the kind and respectful thing to do, of course, would be to let other people take a turn. Um, yeah. You can always get a reading with me by clicking the link. You just send me an email and we can arrange a private reading. But these short readings, one per customer, I feel like is fair. And again, moving forward, it'll just be for channel members. But today, since it's Christmas time, I'll answer everybody. All right. So yesterday, the felon gave a prime time 18-minute speech that apparently caused CBS, his new pet network, to have to delay the broadcasting of the Survivor finale. I'm sure they were thrilled about that. Not. And I heard that the reason that the felon did the broadcast, I did not listen to the broadcast. I heard a commentary on it. I know that it was rapid fire delivery, and I suspect that that was because the networks were annoyed at being preempted, and so it was meant to stay as short as possible. Uh, it was, one untruth after another, aka lie after another. We know that he promised the military checks for 1,776, get it, dollars to come to them before Christmas, but then come to find out that money is coming from money that was already earmarked for housing for military. So he's essentially robbing Peter to pay Paul, probably, of course, illegal. But, that's who he is. I want to know, and people apparently across the board panned the address. I mean, I think I'm being nice calling it an address. Uh, Word on the street has it that Susie Wiles made him do it because of the Vanity Fair article that came out where she spoke a lot of truths and claims that she was quoted out of context, etc. But I think that the point of it was to let everybody know that he's not mad at Susie, and that everything is fine and they are all the peaceable kingdom. What I'd like to know is what's going on backstage at the Trump White House. How's everybody doing over there? So I think I'll let Spirit pick up all the cards. And this is just as a result of the well, I don't know, I just want to take the temperature, period. Let's just see. Oh, and these are my cards. These are the ones that I'm using today when I'm doing the personal readings. So it's not the Christmas deck, but um, it's just what is to hand at the moment. Yeah, I think that they're having a tough time. Crossroads, Fox, Tower, Lilly, and Scythe. So I think that that White House, um, I think people are really um, weighing their options. I mean, it could be a good time to consider jumping ship with this new year coming. Uh, they're trying to give an impression that is not honest. Remember, the fox is sly, or thinks he's sly anyway. And I can mirror the fox with the lily. So this would be Susie Wiles's position. Nothing to see here. Everything's fine. It's all good, but it's not true. In the center, we have the tower, and I think that they do feel as though they are a fortress under siege. Absolutely. And we have the final card, which is the scythe. I am sure people are waiting for this to end, and a lot of people are saying, I don't know. Is it my time in the White House? Is it my time to jump ship? Should I leave? So I think there's a lot of that going on. Now, tomorrow, we know that all of the Epstein files have to be released by law, have to be released. People are working overtime, triple time. Um, everybody's running around like a chicken with their head cut off. We have seen more dribs and drabs come out, enough to know that, as I said before, yeah, this was about SEX, that's true. But more than that, it was a criminal enterprise. It was an enterprise that was comprised of the buying and selling of women and girls, and probably boys too. It was essentially a form of, you know, slavery that everybody turned a blind eye to. Now, we know that the MAGA people are starting to move away from the felon, more because of economic um, uncertainty and being hoodwinked and realizing it as they lose jobs and income, as their health care subsidies lapse, um, as their insurance premiums go up. It's just bad. So I would like to know what will tomorrow bring? Now, when I say tomorrow, tomorrow will be the start of it. What will tomorrow and the subsequent days bring once these Epstein files are all out? Will they have redacted what they need to redact? Will they have redacted too much? So a viewer asked me, you know, I think I mentioned this yesterday, but in case I didn't, um, when we get the redacted material, is that the originals that are redacted? No, it's not the originals. The original materials remain unredacted, meaning, names, faces, all of that's there. And I will, not for us to see, but the DOJ will have it. Congress has it, and foreign governments have it as well. So even if all we get tomorrow is a big tranche of documents that are blacked out, believe me, the real stuff exists. So I just want to know, what will tomorrow's announcement um, or release of all these documents, what will be the repercussions of that? I think I'm going to ask, for the felon, for the felon. So let's look for him in the deck. So as you remember, he is the older man in the deck when I'm using this one. That's the felon. How will he be affected by the release of the rest of these Epstein documents? So we have the sun, we have the garden, we have the felon, we have the key, and we have the anchor. So uh, this is sunlight. Sunlight is the best disinfectant, they say, right? So the public will see what there is to see, a lot more than we've already seen. And we've already seen considerable, but it'll be all very clear. Um, we've got the felon in the middle. And I think that this disclosure of all this will be the key to what sinks him in the eyes of the public. Pulled cards on him. How will the Epstein release affect him in the end? Mountain, Fox, and Scythe. It will keep him from being able to snow people anymore. He will be kept from the con because the evidence is right there. And I can mirror this card with him. He will be undercut. He will be undercut. The release of all of these documents will be the key that answers the questions that we've had, all of the stuff that we haven't known. Like, oh, were they just casual friends? Did they just, go out to lunch occasionally? What was the relationship between them? There is no hiding what the relationship was. They were business partners in the slavery of the buying and selling of women and girls and boys. So the key, right? We get that gets opened up, and again, it ruins him. This is the message. From the grave, Epstein ruins him. Last card in the original line was the anchor, and this is a thing that sinks him. He will be excoriated. The whip is a card for punishment. He will be hearing from everybody, and that includes his erstwhile base. And I think, it's very interesting to have the tree and the lily, because remember the question. The question was, how will this impact him? I think it will adversely affect his health. He'll be angry, he'll be scared, he'll be worried, his blood pressure will be through the roof, his cholesterol's already messed up, he's already got that, whatever that venous insufficiency and everything else going on. That one of the meaning, this is the card for health, but one of the meanings of this card, the lily, is an elderly man. I feel like just as we have seen him decline since his last time in the office, I think his decline into infirmity will be precipitous after the release of these documents. He will be an old and doddering man, way past his prime, hardly the man about town of the 80s. And again, I can mirror the last card with the first card. Everyone will see his decline, which leads me to the only other question that I would like to look at. And I've seen some readers bring it up lately, and I haven't mentioned it for a while. I'm not, I'm just going to see what the cards have to say, which is, could Lindsey Graham be conscripted to go and say to him, uh, Mr. President, I am your Barry Goldwater, and you are Nixon, and it's time for you to pack it up and go back to Mar-a-Lago if they'll have you, because your time here is up. And if you don't go, you'll be 25th Amendment in it. I'm curious, will the 25th Amendment, is it any closer to being enacted? remember that, it's the vice president and the cabinet that have to unanimously agree to this before it even goes to Congress. So I don't know. Will that happen? Um, will the address last night, which was crazy, will his attempts to get us into war with Venezuela so we can steal their oil be a factor? Uh, and will Epstein be a factor? Is he any closer to being 25th Amendmented, is what I want to know. Uh, will he be any closer, let's say, uh, in January than he is today? Because just because people go home for the holiday, they talk to each other, right? I mean, I just want to know about this 25th Amendment. So I think what I'm going to do is use the letter, and that will stand for that document, that 25th Amendment document. Again, 25th Amendment uh, is a document that says, in the eyes of the vice president and the cabinet and the Congress, the felon is unable to um, conduct his office and therefore is going to be removed. That's the 25th Amendment. Okay, so we're looking for the letter. We just want to see, I mean, is there any hope for that to be enacted? I mean, granted, good news is that the felon would be gone. The bad news is that we'd have JD, but we can cross that bridge when we get to it. Okay, here's the letter standing for the 25th Amendment. Okay, so we have the mice, we have the garden, we have the letter, we have the cross, and we have the rider. Okay, so, this is the card of fear. Um, I think he's afraid of being 25th Amendmented for sure. The garden is the people. The letter is in the center. That's the 25th Amendment. The last two cards are the cross. This again is the card of pain. He is causing the people around the world pain. Everybody, including his most ardent supporters who, have an opportunity to see what he's really all about. Now, I can mirror this fear card with the rider. I can see Lindsay saying, I'm not going to tell him. You tell him, Mike Johnson. Mike Johnson, of course, is the ultimate sycophant. Lindsay is the penultimate sycophant, or maybe they're equally sycophantic, but they're afraid of him. I mean, what's he going to say if they, this is a real fear that they have, which is how a lot of his people operate. They do his bidding, um, probably because they agree with him, but more because they're afraid of him. So I pulled cards on this 25th Amendment. So here's the 25th Amendment. Oh, and look who shows up. The felon himself. And oh, look what else shows up. The ship leaving office because he is old and infirm and suffering from some form of dementia. So that would be the rationale, is that he's got some kind of dementia going on. Now, cross clarifiers for that. Snake, the young man, and the birds. This is tough. Yeah, we've only known it once in our lifetime, and it only happened one other time before that, way before any of us were born. But this is a tough decision and a thorny one. I don't like the snake here. This is a problem. What does the sound of music say? How do you solve a problem like Maria? Okay. How do you tell a felon like Trump that his time is up? It's scary. It's anxiety provoking. But you have JD ready and willing, and you have JD talking to the powers that be. So there is a lot of conversation, not about what's on people's Christmas lists. Mm-mm. Unless their Christmas list is a wish list, uh, like JD's, that he wants to be the president. There's a lot of talk. There's a lot of talk about the 25th Amendment and whether it's time to enact it among Republicans. Absolutely. The thing is, okay, here's the rider. Wouldn't you know, we get the mountain, the heart, and the tower. So I think the upshot of this is that the 25th Amendment is not the first thing they're going to do when they come back in January. Again, delay, 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 hoping that his own heart will take him out, hoping that this is not government here. I feel like this is about him being isolated and him being made to feel like the lame duck that he is, more afraid. The felon I'm talking about. So even if they don't enact the 25th Amendment, he will find himself increasingly isolated. This will make him increasingly fearful and therefore increasingly symptomatic in terms of his dementia. Um, so I'm not going to take it off the table, the 25th Amendment. Some people have it on the table front and center as their, some readers. Other readers say, forget it. I'm not going to take it off the table. I think for now, they are still too afraid of him to act, but he will feel more and more isolated. They will distance themselves more and more from him, which will make him more and more symptomatic, which will make it increasingly likely that at some point the 25th Amendment will be implemented. So I'm going to I know I sound like I'm hedging my bets. Not really. I'm just saying it's not going to happen tomorrow or the day after or next month. But that a table is being set, a stage is being set for invocation of it. Because he will be, again, increasingly um, impaired, we'll just say to be nice. Um, because people in his party are looking over his head at who's on the horizon, who's next, who do they need to suck up to once Trump is gone. Uh, the era is ending, and that will make him lonely, isolated, scared, and therefore more erratic and easier to 25th Amendment. So we'll see. All right. So again, uh, in about 40 minutes from now, probably about in half an hour from when this video goes up. So at 5 o'clock, I will be doing another live. I'll answer everybody's questions. I will not be doing this again until January. And when I do it in January, moving forward, it will be only for members of the channel. Okay, so today's a little gift for everybody, but moving forward, I'll do it once or twice a month for just members of the channel. You can join for a month and then get your question answered and unjoin, but I think it's only fair, right, that people who support the channel get that perk. Okay, so I'll see everybody in a little bit. Take care.